Today's video I'm going to be sharing with you details of a small cap stock which uses AI to prevent fraud and has just had record earnings and significant growth. And for MMTLP we're going to be looking at FINRA, discovery and your right to sell, with a critical moment right now in the legal one of the legal cases. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, from Market Watch, we can see here in terms of the Dow Jones, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, they're all wavering as the indexes are seeking to achieve a third straight day of gains. And what we can also see here from Yahoo Finance is the Dow Jones, S&P 500 are wavering also in the anticipation of interest rate cuts, which I think are going to happen. And stock news shared live in the Discord, ticker symbol CBIO, also known as Crescent Biopharma. The shares were trading higher in terms of good news about a partnership, and that was also allowing the company to secure $185 million in this private placement. We had a large dark pool trade for EOSE reported, and that stock today was up over 14%. And also good news for CRWV, where there was a significant institutional buy. And also news that we shared in the Discord is obviously the US government is looking to be investing heavily in robotics 2026, and one of the stocks I'd like to draw your attention from a high risk, high reward point of view is SERV, so keep an eye out on that one. Currently in good momentum on this news, and we have also shared a number of other stocks in many of these relevant sectors. And what I'd now like to do is share stock news in terms of Meta, also reported in the Discord earlier today, META, and the stock was climbing on the news that the company is looking to make major cuts to the metaverse efforts, so obviously giving them significant cost advantages. And finally, I'd like to give you a shout out to one of my posts where I shared information about one of my buy and sell alerts earlier, and just today as well I have added to an existing position, and one of the stocks that I sold was for a 52% return, and one of the stock I invested in I think has got a huge potential and is critical to the AI sector. So go ahead and check my link on savvytrader.com if you would like to get these details. Before we get started, I'd like to take 1 minute of your time to share more details about the Trading Secrets Discord, and once you join you'll get access to our daily stock alerts, the weekly watch list shared prior to trading on the Monday, also the $1 Million Challenge and much more. And for some of the members, I also share my buy and sell alerts live. These include swing trades and they also include long-term holds. In terms of the weekly watch list, these are our calls that are also recorded weekly with some tremendous returns, including LAES up over 152%, RUM up over 51%, and many more, but obviously not all calls are successful. We've had a $2,000 Discord update, and this includes live breaking news. It also includes why a stock is moving, analyst rating, FDA news, halts, dark pools, and much more to help in your trading decisions. We have a new top ranked stocks DD channel with well over 30 stocks now for number one rated buy stocks. And finally, you can also join us in the famous $1 Million Challenge, where we use compound return investing, looking at 201 trades with a return of 3.5%. I'd like to now draw your attention to ticker symbol RDVT, also known as Red Violet. So we'll go ahead and have a look at the company website. We can see here they are revolutionizing risk management with advanced identity intelligence solutions. They use AI and ML driven identity intelligence and fraud prevention solutions that make the world a safer place and reduce the cost of doing business. And I think this particular sector has got a huge potential for the future. So let's have a look at the recent news from the company website, and I'd like to draw your attention to the headline on November the 11th. They are attending a conference. That conference is on December the 8th, 2025. So we'll keep an eye out on that, which is just 4 days away. And I think hopefully there is some positive news from there. And from November the 7th, we can see the company was named as Time America's Growth Leaders of 2026. And obviously we know I'm going to be sharing details of the record earnings from the third quarter reported from November the 5th as well. So let's have a go ahead and have a look at more detail in terms of the company profile. So they are focused on data and analytics. They have a cloud-based platform for data fusion, advanced analytics, and visual investigative intelligence, which I think is critical for the AI and the online world and of business today and for the future. So they look at verifying and vetting people's identities as part of organizations' requirements in terms of protection, and the company also includes IDI and forewarn. They're looking at generating revenue through their subscriptions and user-based fees from the platforms, and they have just reported a record $23.1 million in revenue, which was a 21% year-on-year increase, and that is exceptional. So let's have a look at what we're interested in terms of the chart for the year-to-date 2025, and we can see the stock is up over 52%, currently trading at time of editing at $55.28, market cap just in excess of 780 million, revenue 86.43 million, but their company are also profit making with a profit of just in excess of $11 million. So overall, it is rated as a strong buy, and I think the potential now for the future is huge. So why is this company drawing my attention? They have obviously just reported record revenue, and they also have very, very strong client retention. So what that indicates is their customers are very happy with their services. So they are using AI to enhance the financial crime and mitigation tools. We know about the revenue, and the gross retention is currently approximately 96%, which I think very few businesses will be able to beat. So in terms of analysts covering this, they are recommending it as a buy, and we're looking at potential upside of 16%, which I think could also increase. So let's have a look at the recent developments and the economic moat. So they have strong platform capabilities for growth, sustaining growth, and deepening the company's competitive edge. They have a go-to-market expansion outlook, and they're looking at expanding and diversifying in many verticals. So they are obviously very focused on continuing the use of integration of AI, which is certainly the future, and this is going to help sustain growth for the company and deliver revenue and profitability. So in terms of the economic moat, the company are looking at focusing on areas neglected or avoided by the larger companies, such as providing data and analytical tools for risk management and fraud detection in industries where traditional solutions are lacking. They're looking at scaling economies, obviously reducing costs, increasing profitability, and also looking at switching costs. Approximately 9,000 customers for IDI and 590 realtor associates contracted for forewarn. So the company does have a strong customer base. In terms of the future growth drivers, we can see here these are positive in terms of the platform capabilities and AI integration. They also have a go-to-market expansion and many opportunities in the pipeline for expanding. They're looking at public sector vehicle as well. So obviously Department of Revenue, Secretary of State, and other offices to obviously capture them as potential customers and develop through with them. They look at also focusing on background screening and looking at securing contracts with large entities, and I certainly think the potential for this is huge. So let's have a look at the risk factors. Obviously data security and privacy is something that is susceptible to cyber attacks, so that could be certainly damaging for the company if anything happens. They also are going to be involved in regulatory compliance. This can certainly increase costs and be a risk for the business, and obviously competition is huge in the AI sector, but for me it certainly looks like the company have got a good niche here. So what do the bulls say? The bulls are obviously very positive about the recent financial performance. There is very strong positivity in terms of the expanded customer base and product utilization, as well as customer retention. They have strategic investments and growth opportunities, and I certainly think they can grow across the world. In terms of the bears, obviously maybe some over dependence on some of the key products. Customer retention, obviously there are a large number of clients, and that could create vulnerability if any relationships deteriorate, which is the same probably for any business, and also in integration risks in terms of using AI and developing for the future. And the final thing I'd like to share with you is a quick snapshot of the financial performance. If we look here, strong growth in revenue, and for the previous 2 years the company have been profitable, which I think certainly is important for the shareholders, so keep an eye out on red violet. As now we've got the latest updates for MMTLP. So first shout out to KKEP, who's posted with regard to an update on the Kelly versus FINRA case, and we can see here it's stated that below is what Kelly has just filed in the opposition to FINRA's motion to dismiss. So let's have a look at the summary in terms of what has been stated, and it states here the opposition to FINRA's motion to dismiss broken down for regular investors in plain English. So in section 1 we can see here the breakdown includes FINRA went outside of its legal authority, they changed the MMTLP corporate action, issued a nationwide U3 halt with the no SEC order, using terms such as to avoid uncertainty, when in effect they created the biggest amount of uncertainty probably ever seen in the market. And it also states here in the section 1 the courts say SRO immunity does not apply when an SRO acts outside of the delegated powers. So that's obviously a statement to the court. And number 2, FINRA is not protected by immunity here. So remember, this is a response from Kelly, and it's obviously up to the judge to deem this appropriate or not appropriate. So section 3, FINRA acted like a federal agency, and obviously they had the significant delegated federal power that they used from the SEC, and we could also argue that the SEC probably did not intervene and look at this potential alleged abuse of power. So number 4, investors lost a protected property right, and this is your right to sell, your right to trade, your right to transfer or access your securities, which is also seen as a property right, even though we could argue that this is not a physical product. And the U3 halt and deletion permanently eliminated that right. So this is going to create a liquidity in terms of the NextBridge hydrocarbon shares, which are private, and does not obviously provide any cash to the people who invested, and that is something that many of them were hoping to do in terms of the last 2 days of trading. And the number 5, there is a valid lawsuit here, and I think I'd now like to go into the section 3, which is number 6, FINRA misled investors, and that is with regard to section 10B's part 5, and that is related to fraud, which is properly pled. And obviously Kelly has argued that FINRA made false statements, material omissions, and much more. And number 7, FINRA's SEC oversight excuse doesn't work. And let's zoom ahead and have a look at the final section. Section 8, declaratory and injunctive relief are allowed. So that is what is being asked for, and Kelly is also asking for the court to declare FINRA acted outside the law, require a restoration of the records, and allow the case to proceed to discovery, which I think could be huge and obviously change the status of FINRA. And the bottom line in terms of summary, the arguments are FINRA allegedly, shall we say, had no authority to edit the corporate action. I think I would certainly second that. No authority to issue a permanent U3 halt. Probably maybe only a handful of permanent U3 halts, if not this could be the only one. FINRA had no authority to delete the ticker, destroy the investor property rights. FINRA is not immune, certainly when they act outside of their authority, and the case should move to discovery. So let's have a look at a response from Scipio, who's also known as Kelly, and he states here, good write-up on his 107-page opposition. He has 70 pages of evidence, so it's not really that long, but it captures the essence of almost everything completely. He doesn't know how the case will go, but he can stress that if you don't fight your fights, you will lose them. So that's a good statement there. So he certainly is fighting his fight. And finally, in other news, from the Polish assassin, tagging in Charles Payne, stating, will you be covering this? And that is with regard to the anniversary coming up for 3 years, with so many countries publicly fighting naked shorting and obviously legitimate shorting as well. And I think we're looking at the SEC helping shorts. I think there was some news earlier today where the SEC gave naked shorts a 2.5-year pass, which is an extension, and then claims these are temporary exemptions. So it looks like 2 more years of market manipulation. And finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.